and gentlemen, welcome back to the Spice Show, where we get all the hot takes. Today, on this show, we have the greatest performing actor of perfect lioness entertainment, starting from a young age in his childhood, and members of the Shiboko family of entertainers. The one and only Mickari Shiboko. How you doing, man? How you doing?
Doing all right, man. Thank you so much for
As
having me.
man, hey, it is a wonderful opportunity to have you here,
Mm.
one of the big stars in this country. How are you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling a little bit better, still recovering, from the hospital visit, but hey, I'm still here. I'm happy to be alive, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I'm glad to hear that you're doing okay now. And speaking of the hospital, we did get some news
hmm
that you were in there, and upon seeing you, we did see a bruise coming in. Was that anyhow related to you being in the hospital recently?
Uh-huh. Yeah, so the bruise that you actually saw was like a permanent scar. And I'm pretty sure you got the vision of it in my leg, in my left leg, because
Hmm.
okay, so here's what happened. So me and I call her my big sister, but really she's my adoptive aunt because that's my adoptive mother's Mama Linda. That's um, my adoptive mother's younger sister. Her name is
Okay.
Michelle, who you guys know as Misa Michelle. She's
Me.
also a Shiboko. She's actually my aunt, but she's like a big sister to me because we're only like 5 years apart. So here's what happened. Okay, so we were literally shopping for my grandmother, her mother, or my grandmother. In a sense, in an adoptive sense. So we were literally shopping. For
Uh-huh.
from here.
Doing your daily shopping.
The daily shopping for my grandmother because she wanted to cook something. So here's what happened. There seemed to be some sort of like political march outside the area and things like that in particular. And then some angry mob came and just destroyed the whole thing. You know what I mean? And it was a peaceful march.
Man,
Yeah, it was a peaceful march. You know what I
an
mean? It
angry
wasn't really.
mob
Uh huh.
at the store. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Exactly. Like it was outside though, you know what I mean? Outside the grocery store, it was outside a plaza, you know what I mean? So it was just nothing but a peaceful march, you know, as for the new laws coming into place for things like that in particular, and the angry mob wasn't really for it. So long story short, me and Michelle, we were literally trying to run to our vehicle as everything was going on, but then like three or four people within an angry mob, they assumed that we were a part of those people demonstrations. Like we don't even get involved with politics. You know what I mean? We're actors, but we
Wow.
don't get involved with politics.
Exactly.
So
I understand
yeah.
that.
But
That is.
they assumed that we were part of it. They corralled me and Michelle, and they captured us. You know what I mean? And they threw us into this pen. You know what I mean?
Oh my
Threw
God.
us into this pen, and here's what happened. They released like it was a coyote. They released a coyote, and it mauled the
What?
heck out of both of us. Mauled the heck out of both of us. That all of my flesh, not all of my flesh, but most of my flesh in my lower left leg was completely turned off to the point where it was muscle. It was nothing but muscle showing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then my sister Michelle, my big sister Michelle, she has so now I have a permanent mark on my lower left leg. You know what I mean? So and
Okay.
then and so that's something I'll have to live with for the rest of my life because I did have to get my lower left leg, reconstructed and done, because most of the skin was just ripped off. It was nothing but muscle.
Wow.
Yeah, and then so um, with Michelle, I mean, thank God she wasn't mauled as much, you know, but it, but she did receive multiple bites though to her right arm. So there's like a lot of marks there. You know what I mean? As to where
Makes
the
sense.
teeth bit in.
That's yeah. A freaking hyena?
No, it wasn't a hyena. It was a coyote.
Coyote. My
Coyote.
apologies.
Coyote attack.
Man.
And
And
then
where
so
would
after
they even
that,
have that?
they just threw us completely out. They threw the both of us outside, and just some good Samaritans called the ambulance, for both of us. So thank God.
Wow.
Well, thank God that Michelle didn't have to get surgery or anything like that. It was just minor injuries, minor. She did have to get a stitch there, like in her left arm, but not her left, but
Yeah.
her right arm.
Of
But
course.
me, I
Yeah.
had to have a whole surgery in order on my left leg, so I'm just here recovering.
That is great to see you, man.
Yeah.
It is just crazy that there's people out here like that,
Mhm.
just putting people that don't even go for any of this political argument and
Mhm.
just get innocent people in trouble. That's just insane, man. I
Yeah.
cannot believe it. But I am glad that you are okay, and I'm glad that your family's doing better as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So, we had further questions.
Mhm.
Now that you're doing better now, um, because people wanted to know, and I was also curious as to what you were saying earlier. Maybe they could have gotten you into all of this political debate and with the
Mhm.
coyote and all this.
Mhm.
Maybe there's some jealousy as you were a growing actor, a growing star,
Mhm.
getting popular and popular. Was there anyone that you think, or was there anyone jealous of you that you had problems with, or any drama around that?
Well, now that you put it that way, I believe what it is the is definitely former members of the Baziki clan, And so, if you
Mm,
don't know, the Baziki clan is a was supposed to be a submerge of the Hanisha military, but a lot of people within the Baziki clan were just they were so abusive. They were so high in a power. They were abuse of power and things like that in particular. So a couple of them, they may be really jealous because me because my adoptive parents, Mama Linda and Daddy Sim, they helped all of us as a family to escape during the rebellion of 1991. And that's
mm,
when I escaped to the Southern Hanisha. And Southern Hanisha doesn't have any other problems like that. You know what I mean? But yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. It's people. It's really tragic that the people are jealous of this. Like they can't just support you guys as actors that are doing really well for the community and for yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that you can come up in this world doing such things. Now, was there any problems of you being raised into this acting household? I know you were an adoptive child.
Mm-hmm.
So, was there any issues with people thinking that you should have worked harder for your position or anything of that?
Hmm. Nah, I wouldn't say that, but I will say that within my immediate family, my immediate family, within my adoptive parents and my adoptive siblings, um, we pretty much got along okay. You know what I mean? But here's the problem: when I was in my early years, when I was like, the first year into me being adopted by them, I was pretty much mean. You know what I mean? I was
Mm-hmm.
mean to my intermediate family and my extended family as well. My extended um, adoptive family, which is all the Shibokos. But yeah. But other than that, I got some help, and other people in my family they got some help, and we pretty much just okay. And then another thing is when it came to acting, um, there wasn't really that many problems per se within our
Mm-hmm.
family being raised into the thing, you know. I mean, I
Right.
will say that there is another set of family that helped us through all of this too. They're known as Las Rivieras, and among them is who I call Mi Tia Esme, you know. But yeah, and so she was the CEO of the production team that was working along with Perfect Linus Entertainment. And so she saw my talent, she saw my adoptive family's talents, and so she just wanted to put that to work because there was already people like my like who I call my big sister Michelle. She was
Mm-hmm.
in it, and then my other big sister, who I call her, who's actually my aunt, is Christy. So she was also in a couple of projects, before I
Wow.
came along, and so one of my youngest aunts, who's around my age, who I call Beanie, she was around a couple of projects before me, and so it was pretty much I just came along in the picture, because I know it took some time, and it took some time and a lot of work for me to, how do I say this? Not exactly perfect, but the but to better my acting skills. But I got it there. You know what I mean? At a young age. But yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But a family like the Shibokos, man, I have no doubt that you're showing, you're living, breathing proof of it right now,
Mhm.
that that family knows how to raise some actors. You guys are doing fantastic. Which brings me to a further question. Since you're so big now, such a big star, one of the biggest, I would say, if not the biggest, how do you deal with do you have any pressures, any stress being
Oh
in the
yeah.
center of all the attention? Your fans, what they think about you, you know?
Mm-hmm. I know there are some times where there's certain time periods where I can't be, where I choose not to be in the city because there's like so many people wanting to get a picture of me and things like that in particular. They all have their cameras out. They all have their cameras out, filming me, within the big city. So, along with me and my, along with me and my adoptive daughter, since I'm raising a daughter, so yeah, so along with me, my girlfriend and my adoptive daughter. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So there's been some issues there, that's for sure. And then a lot of people, so when it comes to, there is definitely a lot of pressure, because there's so many people from different companies that want me, to do one of their projects, but I can't do them all at once. So there's some projects that I have to turn down. There's some projects that I'll go with, and like right now I'm think I'm working on about 5 or 6 projects, and there's like a lot more opportunities for me and my family out there. That's for sure. But I just can't accept all of them, because I'm like I said, I may be an actor and all, but I'm also a father. You know what I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
gotta make
Yep.
time. I gotta make time for my adoptive daughter. I gotta make time for my girlfriend. You know. So and I have a family. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you gotta take care of that family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I noticed you said you also adopted a daughter as well. How is
Mm-hmm.
that going? Does that interfere with your work, or do people interfere with your family at all?
Mm-mm. Now it doesn't really affect my work. You know what I mean? Because I always do my best to have a set schedule. To make time for her, to make time for the whole family, to make sure that she spends time with the Shabokos, and a matter of fact, both sides of the family. The what is that? The Hernandez, which is
Mm-hmm.
her adoptive mom side, or my girlfriend's side, and then there's the Shabokos, my side of the family that she has to get to know, that's for sure, and make sure you get that family time in. So I'm
Oh
always on a
yeah.
set schedule, even though, but I will say that it does get extremely tough whenever whenever me and my family is filming our sitcom. You know what I mean? So me,
Mm-hmm.
Beanie, and then my other uncle who's like 15 months. He's 15 months older than me. I call him Keo. So or Kian. You know what I mean? I call him
Yeah.
Kian. So me, Beanie, and Kian. So the three of us, we have to like film and things like that in particular. It does get very very tough making time, because when it comes to like the good part of the scene, or the good part of the scene, or the episode, or even just the whole season, it can be very 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 tough. But
That
we
that makes
always do
sense.
our fit. So my family, they understand, and then my girlfriend's family, they understand, and then I reason with my daughter, and she understands as well. But I always do my best to make sure my family knows that I do my best to make time for them. That way I can spend time with them. Because that was how my adoptive parents raised me. There's always a time for something. Because too much of anything is bad. You
Oh
know,
yes.
that's what they raised me to. That's how they raised me. Too much of anything is bad. You need to make time for your family and make time for like anything that you have to handle. Just don't do too much of anything, because if you do, you will stress yourself out.
That is a great mentality right there, and you know, and I
Mm-hmm.
enjoy that. I really appreciate that, respect it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna get on to the last couple questions here.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about some projects you were working on.
Mm-hmm.
You think we can get any sneak peeks on that, or anything, any leaks for us over for the fans, maybe?
Well, um, I do know that I'm working on now. I am in the midst of writing something for my niece. You know, my
Mm-hmm.
niece Katrina. Well,
Yeah.
that's Christy's daughter. So she's up in age, around the same age that I was when. No, not the same age that I was necessarily, but she's up in her like her mid teens. You know, and so I feel like so the whole, not only myself but the whole family feels like she's like ready for a major role, and so I'm working along with people of Queen Esme Productions, not only Queen Esme Production, but Perfect Linus Entertainment as well. Working along with people to get this idea going, you know. So
That's great.
yeah,
That's
that's the
some
only
good
thing. And
news.
then
Okay.
other than that, other than that, I have my seasons of Modern Stooges, that of our sitcom Modern Stooges. You know, with
Mm.
Keen and Beanie. Yep. As always, got the new seasons coming up, and not to mention, I just got a letter from the CEO of Perfect Linus Entertainment, Kira Bassett. I got Kira Bassett wrote us a letter saying that it's been renewed for 3 seasons. The
Wow,
sitcom
that
is
is
renewed
some
for
good
3 more
news.
seasons.
That is some amazing news.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, it looks like he's gonna be doing some big things. He's got some projects
Oh
going,
my
and maybe
goodness.
you'll see his daughter into some of his movies as well, or maybe her own movie.
No,
Just,
well, the thing is about my daughter. Thing is about my adoptive daughter is that
hmm
she has a little bit of stage fright, and I can understand her because when I first started, I was like, how old was I? And it was back in 1993 was when I first started, but back in like mid 1993, so I was around 7 years old at that time. Yeah, so
man,
and now I was around 7 years old and I had huge stage fright, man. Oh my goodness.
I could imagine.
Man. And a lot so a lot so my aunt Alana, well, she doesn't like to be called an aunt really, but Alana and Mithia Esme and Kira Bassett and my adoptive mother Mama Linda, they all had to be there, you know, just to keep me calm, you know what I mean? Because
Oh yeah,
when you're on that big camera for the first time, I've experienced this. I was like 7 years old. So wait a minute. Yep, I was seven. I had to make sure I get it right. But man, it
man,
can be so intimidating. You know what I mean?
such a
Super
youngin,
intimidating.
such a
Mm-hmm.
youngin that stuck around and got all the way up to be such a big star today. And you're what, 26, 27 years old today?
Mm-mm. Well, think about it. This year just came up to be 2011, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, with that in mind, I will be 25 in just a couple of days. Yeah, I'll
Wow.
be 25.
Still a youngin doing great work in the acting industry.
Yeah.
That's just fantastic, man. Mr. Shiboko, it's been a wonderful time. Would you like to say any words for your fans? Any motivating quotes you have for them?
Ooh. Now this is kind of, now I will say there's a lot that I can say, you know, on different avenues. But one thing I will say is that if you feel that you can do things, you know, don't hesitate
Mm-hmm.
to do it. Whenever an opportunity arises for you, do not pass up on it. You know, because it could be an opportunity of a lifetime. You know, it could be an opportunity of a lifetime, and it can definitely get you to where you want to be as long as you work your way towards it, you know. And if it doesn't happen, they don't give up in trying it, you know what I mean? I know there's a lot of people who say that people work really hard for their dreams, but it's not meant for everybody. That is 100% false, because you can definitely find something that you want. It doesn't even have to be in that field. You know what I mean? Doesn't have to be in the whole acting field. You could be behind the scenes that can make you happy. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
anything in that particular nature. You can write your own stories and maybe hire actors, and just move you up to that platform, you know. There's a lot of writers
Mm-hmm.
do that, and so that's what I really like about Kira Bassett of Perfect Lioness Entertainment. She always do her best to expand. She always do her best to expand the opportunity to everybody who feels that they have that. She always gives them a shot. You know what I mean? And if they
Yeah.
don't,
Oh, that's good.
that's for sure.
Well, Mr. Shiboko, it's been fun. It's been fantastic having you on the show. And there you have it, fans. Keep those words in mind as he's making big money, having fun doing what he does, and keeping the family happy as well. You guys keep that in mind because maybe you'll be the next big star. All right,
Mm-hmm.
this has been The Spice Show with your boy Blaze keeping it hot. Mr. Shiboko, it's been fantastic having you,
It's my
and
pleasure.
I'm glad to see you. Hopefully, we get to see even more of you. You
All
have a
right.
fantastic day.
Thank you so much. You do the same, my dude.
Thank you.
Peace. Bye bye.
Bye bye, everybody.